put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live here in Port Scarborough, Tobago. This morning, we are going to be having a very interesting interview with Miss Laura Martin Leasing out of the Ministry of Youth.
Sport and Community Development. Yes. And she's the manager of the Best Village program. Let's see if we're getting the name correct. It's Louris Martin Leasing.
You got it correct. Louris
my humblest apologies. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me. It's so wonderful to be on with the Youth Wednesday morning. Yes. I'm a little far from youth myself, but y'all are lovely. Love what y'all are doing.
Oh, thank you. So tell us about yourself and what do you do in the ministry?
Sure. Well, I am Louris Martin Leasing, and I am the program manager of the Prime Minister's Best Village Trophy competition. Last year, we celebrated 60 years of Best Village, preserving and promoting our traditional culture.
All right. And for those who might not know, for those who might be far younger than myself, just explain to those who might not know what the Best Village is about.
Sure. Well, Best Village is, it's hard to explain. It's so much, but Best Village is essentially a competition, a series of different competitions, and they're all designed to help us hold on to our indigenous traditional cultures that we all share, all the people who came to Trinidad and Tobago. So we have a few different competitions. So I'll lay out a couple of them for you. One of our competitions is called Folk Presentations. And these are 3 to 5 minute performances of categories such as African influence dance, East Indian influence dance, folk song chorale, calypso or best original calypso. We have limbo competitions. We have, just several things. We have French influence, Spanish influence, even Chinese influenced categories in the Best Village competition. And it's open to the entire country. Anyone can participate at the preliminary level in folk presentations, and then you would go on to the finals. We also have the folk theater competition, which is a 90-minute play, and you have to have at least 25 persons in your show, and you can compete. We come to your venue to see your preliminary, and then we set you up for the final. And Belge is the home of the Miss Laren Rivet competition, which is a talent competition and a craft competition for young women between the ages of 17 to 27. And I have to tell you, Tobago has always been a highlight of Best Village. The Tobago contingents always do very, very well. In fact, last year was no exception, with Tobago being very prominent across all of our finals. So we're having a consultation on the 23rd of March. That's this Saturday at the Scarborough Library from 2 p.m. And, we feel it's time for it. Our minister at the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, the Honorable Shamfa Louris, has mandated that we ensure we get feedback from all of our stakeholders. And this is an opportunity for everyone who has participated in Best Village from Tobago, who will be participating this year, who's thinking about participating, to come and really make sure that we are aware of what your needs are and how we could best serve you. And that's our mission here this morning, to make sure that we reach the people in Tobago, that we get them to come out to support the consultation so we could really make a difference based on their feedback.
Okay. So the Prime Minister's Best Village Trophy competition started back in 1963. So as you rightfully said, that's 60 years of the competition. Can you give us a little bit of history on why it is the competition would have even started in the first place?
Sure. Our first Prime Minister, Dr. Eric Williams, would have gone on a Meet the People tour when we first became independent. And he went to all these different villages. Remember, they didn't have no internet back then. I know all you're young. So we didn't have you had to go out and meet the people. So he went to all the different villages in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, Trinis and Tobagonians, we just show up and show out. So people came out with their handicraft. They come to showcase their performances, their talents, their ethnic dishes. And he was blown away by the show, and he said, this is something valuable, these creative industries, these creative works, handicraft, and so Best Village began as a way to showcase the talents of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and also to integrate the different peoples of Trinidad and Tobago. So our first competition started with handicrafts. We also have competitions like Clean and Beautify, where you have categories like Best Kept Street, Best Kept Community Center, Best Kept Kitchen Garden, Best Kept Community Garden, Best Kept Flower Garden. So it's really a very holistic program that looks at the whole society, the whole community, the whole village, and sees how can we encourage and push this in the right direction.
So you're calling on all stakeholders from Tobago to meet for you all to engage on the 23rd of March. That's this coming Saturday. Why should persons attend? What is the importance of the meeting?
That's such a great question. Well, I think the meeting is important on a few levels. As the Best Village administration, we will be making presentations to the Tobago stakeholders, explaining and informing them about our plans for 2024 and some of the initiatives we're thinking about for 2025. And we can't go ahead and do things without finding out what the participants want to see, what the participants want to know. So this is an opportunity for me to not just be imagining and based on talking to one or two people, what the people want, but it's a real opportunity to get on the record. So we'll have rapporteurs there. Everything that is said will be written down, recorded, reported, and integrated into our planning for next year and even this year.
All right. Just to get into the Best Village a little bit more, especially for those who are getting to know what it is about. What can we expect when this event commences? Are there going to be millions of dollars in prizes? What are the benefits to those who are going to participate?
Well, Best Village distributes approximately $2 million in prizes every single year across all of our competitions, which are many. Participants can expect that. This year we've done some special things based on some feedback that we received last year. So, for example, I am always seeing children participating in the Best Village at the preliminary level, but we don't see them in the final because they're competing against adults. So this year we have segregated 3 categories. We've put aside 3 categories that are only for children 13 years and younger. So this year we have put aside the folk choral category. We've also put aside the short story category. And in the dance categories, we've put aside a category called patriotic dance for children 13 years and younger. So this way we've ensured that you're going to see 30 groups of young people under the age of 13 in the finals for Best Village 2024. So we are really, really excited about that. And I, having come to Tobago for a few years to see the preliminaries, I expect there will be some Tobago children there. One of the other initiatives that we have that was actually initiated by Honorable Minister is the inclusion of individual participants in Best Village. Generally, you would have had to be part of a community group or part of a performance group to participate in Best Village. We've opened up the competition. We have so many talented individuals who may not be affiliated with a group for whatever reason. So we're opening up the competition. So this year we have solo categories, pan solo, folk song, solo, original calypso, short story, and spoken word for only individual participants. We also have our food and folk fair coming up in June. And again, we have the Miss Pitty Mamzelle competition in there, which is a younger version of Miss Laren Rivet for children, again, under the age of 13. So we are trying our best to focus on the youth in Best Village and encourage them and make sure that our traditions and our indigenous culture pass on to the next generation, because that is our legacy.
Okay, well, Miss Martin Leasing, we want to thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us this morning. We hope that persons do come out to the consultation on Saturday, March 23rd. You could just give a little bit more information on that before you leave in terms of contact information, social media, the location for the consultation.
Sure. Just before I go, I really want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Jesse Taylor, Cultural Officer at the THA, as well as Ms. Giselle Charles for their unstinting and unswerving support of Best Village, because the THA helps us a lot in ensuring that the Tobago participants get transported and traveled and supported for their preliminary. So I really didn't want to go before saying a big ups to them and a thanks to them for all their work over the years. Now, if you want to call to register, you can call me at 686-9965, and you can visit our social media at the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, or you can also look at Best Village TT on Instagram and Facebook to get more information. Again, you can call the numbers on the flyer, and you can call me, Program Manager, very accessible. Transparency is my jam, at 686-9965. We really want to make sure that the voices of our Tobago participants are heard and that the things that they want to see happen. Thank you so much for this opportunity and this platform.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. Viewers, we're going to take a short break and we're going to be right back. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.